Oh, it's just gone 4 o'clock now, and our delivery is here behind us, and we'll talk more about it in a second. But we have Peter here from Friel's ATV. Peter's going to introduce himself and tell you a bit about what they have and where they're from.
Yeah, hello, Peter Friel from Friel ATVs in Donegal. Adrian was interested in the new Yamaha. That's the new 700 Kodiak. We put a set of oversized Bearclaw tyres and set of over-fenders on it. We fitted this one with upgraded heavy-duty hitch as well. And
I noticed anyway, this was something that the guys mentioned to me on the phone. We were going to put a different set of tyres on, a wider set of tyres on it, which I do appreciate. Yes. That would normally come with what size? At
10-inch wide.
10-inch.
But they're the XL Bearclaw tyres, so they're a square tyre compared to a dome tyre.
And see that. And more grip.
To counteract for that, you need the over-fenders to keep them clean.
Yeah, you fitted them extra as well, so
this morning.
That standard machine wouldn't come with the over-fenders normally on it.
Or it wouldn't come with the wide wheels, but anything can be done.
It's a wee bit late in the evening now, we'll get trying it out tomorrow, but it's different compared to the Honda. I suppose, look, you're doing away with the electronic shift. Yep. It's gone. Yeah. So you just have to get used to the way the Yamaha's is done with your gear stick.
Even for herding cattle and that, you have the agility. If you need to get ahead, you're not changing up the gears, hit the throttle and you're going. Yeah. There's great engine holdback in them as well.
Aye, so braking with the engine.
Yeah, there'll be a fair bit of downhill braking in them too. A heavier machine with better traction because you have extra power to make up for it. Yeah. I suppose the other difference to the Honda, you have your 2 and 4 wheel drive and the diff lock. Just you lock the 4 wheels.
There's a winch on this one. It's not something I asked for, but it comes. Does it come standard?
Standard on them, yeah. The good quality wiring ones, like they are good. They definitely are useful. Like
I like the green. Yeah. You had a blue and silver one. I think you've a sold now. I've seen.
And with a copper coloured one as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, that's the most sellable there. Like the black against the green. Yeah. Looks very nice.
It's a big change from what we're used to, the red. Yeah. You'll see the red a mile away, but
it'll take a bit of getting used to that, like.
Yeah.
But I'd honestly believe once you're on it a week, you wouldn't go back.
What do you call the gearbox in this compared to what I have?
Ultramatic.
Okay.
You have your automatic or your hydrostatic with your oil drop, and that's an ultramatic. It's like a fan belt. Yeah. Or like a timing belt. Yeah. And you just work from the throttle then.
Well, that hasn't changed then from the older Yamahas. You used to have. I've seen that belt system.
2001's the same. Even on the 450s, they've still went out with the same idea. They haven't changed it at all.
This was our main girl today. I'm only going to go through it really quick now at the end because you've seen it coming off the trailer, but it was quite dark when Peter was dropping it off, so you guys probably didn't get a good look at it. One thing I did do, since you've seen it coming off the trailer, was I added these and these guys. Now, my wife bought me them for my birthday and I have them quite a while sitting in the shed. I just never put them onto the Honda, but as soon as this yoke landed I said, right, you're going on it. These are very, very handy. They're not very expensive. You buy them on Amazon. They're a ratchet clamp. This bolts onto your front rack. You put your shovel or whatever you want to carry into that there straight across. Pull this clip out. You can rotate them different directions, or you can just lift them off and leave them mount where it is if you're not using them. So these guys here are just your guards for your hand, but they've got the mirrors built into them. I've seen them in a video I watched on YouTube, and I give my wife a subtle hint that they were very handy, and she spotted it. A guy was snow ploughing and I seen this on and I said, Jesus, aren't they handy? The mirror doesn't have to stick up, you're not going to hit it with your hand, or sometimes when you're jumping on off you can hit the mirrors and then you're all the time fixing at them, but these are great to block the draft on your hand, and the mirrors built into them. I see they even embroidered their name onto the seat. That's definitely for YouTube advertising, that one, but you have to hand it to them, they did it. I wouldn't say they do that in every quad, but look, it's there and it's not going to rub off, I suppose, so it's a good enough idea. So that's their plug given there now. Look, go over and check Friel's ATV. They have lots of bits and pieces for new and old. They have a whole online store there as well. Loads and loads and loads of quads, new and second hand, so it's no harm to go over and sure, look at, you can price them and see how you get on. Petrol tank is different in this one. It's not up here any longer. Here you have a storage box. Now your fuel tank is in here. There's it there. So just a different design, same purpose. The suspension on this machine is just chalk and cheese to the Honda. I'm not saying it's better, or I'm not saying it's worse. It's just different. And the Hondas would have had a straight axle going across, which would lead them a lot more stable, I suppose, on the road. These do kind of drift from side to side, so you have to be careful. But comfort-wise, out on its own. Now, another thing we have to get used to is the gearbox in this. It's similar, but different. That's the best way of putting it. You don't have your electric shift anymore, it's gone. So you have park, which is in at the minute, which is your handbrake. No more of this anymore, which, miss. for now. We'll see how that goes on. Then you have your reverse, neutral, high and low range. This is called a CVT transmission, so different than the actual mechanical transmission that a Honda would have. This is belt driven. So you've got a belt in here, just like a fan belt. You have a large rotor here and one here, and it's your belt that drives your transmission. So you make your selection, you give it the throttle, and away it goes. Another thing that Peter told me about was this switch here. It's an override switch. It's just an override to cut out the limiter on the rev. So if you're going in reverse especially, you can hit that and you go backwards a lot faster. I can't imagine why, but then you never know. If Vin Diesel was coming by you in a Dodge Charger and you needed a bit of NOS, you hit that button. Now, you might ask, how come you didn't buy a Honda, Adrian? You're a Honda lover, you've always had Hondas. I would have assumed you would have went for a Honda. Well, that's not technically true. I haven't always had Hondas. I've had more Yamahas than I've had Hondas. I've had a Blaster, a Warrior, a Raptor, a Banshee, and I think that could be them all. That's all running since I was 13, 14 years old, I think, when I bought my first Blaster. Saved up every penny, got it really cheap, it was in bits, and started fixing at it because I have a love for that kind of thing. That's kind of my hobby. I used to buy old quads like that, fix them up, do little bits of work on them and paint them up and make them look fairly decent, and then sell them on and buy another one. And I would never actually make any money out of it. No, would I ride it very often. It was just purely the love of fixing at them, and that's just something I liked them. As my mother always said, it kept me out of trouble. But one of the main reasons, apart from all of that, was price. And there just seemed to be a lot more for your money on the Yamaha, for me personally. Some people will go with the Honda, some people will go with something else. But for me, what I wanted, it just seemed to tick all the boxes. So how did the deal work on this, you might ask? I sold my old quad. I sold it to a guy who actually does a lot of work for me over the years, and I know him a long time now, and he put his name on it about 6 months ago. So I got a good price for my Honda. It was in good condition, it was well looked after, and hopefully it will serve him for years to come. And the second part then came from an item I sold about 7-8 weeks ago to a guy in Dundalk who sent me snaps nearly every day of it now. Something I bought in my mid-20s. Was an absolute pleasure to own, and I almost sold it a few times and just couldn't part with it in the end, but it's gone now because of this. I can't tell you what the item is, mainly because the guy who bought it doesn't want me to, and it has nothing to do with farming, nothing to do with a YouTube channel or anything. You would have never seen it. We have to kind of respect that wish of the guy that owns it now. But that covered the price of the quad. It left us with a little bit of money back in the bank as well, which was a plus. But now we have a machine that hopefully we get a lot of use out of. 12 years was a long time to have the other quad and have trouble-free use out of it. Hopefully this one will be as good, fingers crossed. I've had it now a few days and I've never had it over here yet. I've never got a chance to even ride the thing because we're just busy with cattle and things. But my father has been out on it every day, and this was kind of a Christmas present that could get him out and about, because I like to see him out and about. He'll probably cost me a fortune on petrol, but it's nice to see him out in it. So that's our new quad anyway. I'm just going over here to actually lift a fence, because we're going to be moving calves now shortly. But just before I end today's video, if I don't mention this, my wife will tear me asunder. Meant to mention it last Sunday, but our merchandise, because Christmas is coming up, it's hard to believe Christmas is only around the corner, and it's mild. I don't even actually need to be wearing a hoodie. It's very warm, so it is, but anyway, it is. So Monday, that's the day after you're watching this one, Monday the 5th of December is the last day where we can guarantee you'll have your merch for Christmas. We can't make any guarantees after that, unfortunately. We'll do our best, but just can't be guaranteed. So try get it in before Monday. And any of you guys that have ordered, thank you so much. Always blown away by the numbers, the support. This year especially has been incredible, so it means a lot to me and my family, so thank you very much for that. Anyway guys, I'm going to move a fence here, and then I have to pull out the TEF20. We're back on it this week. Now that we have a lot of our jobs covered, before calving starts, we're going to get a good bit of work done on our cottage, so there's lots happening. Anyway folks, thanks very much for watching. Until the next one, talk to you again.